With rates at 7% interest, are buyers running away from the market? And are the numbers in the Houston market crashing? Hi, I'm Adam Sanders with the Watchdog Realty Group and your Houston Bay Area guide. The Houston housing market has dramatically slowed, and we have record levels of inventory that we haven't seen in over 2 years. Several sensational headlines claim buyers are leaving the market, but that simply is not true. They like to scare you with terms like recession and hyperinflation. We're going to dive into some data to help determine if it's a good time for buyers. So let's jump right in. Now you're going to say, Adam, you're a realtor. You're always going to tell me it's a good time to buy. That's simply not true. I'm in real estate for the long haul. And if I come across as disingenuous, then that hurts your trust in me. I also don't like to use blanket statements like that because while it may be a good time for one person to buy, it may not be a great time for another person. There are just way too many variables to make blanket statements like that. I also keep hearing agents and lenders tell buyers date the rate and marry the home. Yeah, that's easy for you to say when it's not your money, right? Agents, please stop saying this. What if rates don't back down in the foreseeable future? It just sounds so salesy and dismissive of a client's true need. It is a great time for a few of my clients to buy because of their particular circumstances. And I have a couple of clients I'm telling to just wait, also because of their unique circumstances. What is important is that we present facts and data. I'm going to present several data points and help you interpret it all. We all know you can manipulate data to help it support your talking points. Not to mention that the powers to be really have no idea what they're doing. You may have seen a post I recently put up with our good buddy, the Fed. A reporter asked him what seems to be an easy housing question, and he's just got that deer in the headlights. Take a look.
Home sales have fallen for 7 months straight. Mortgage rates are at their highest level since 2008. Yet mortgage demand increased this week, and housing prices are still elevated. Now, at the end of your June press conference, you mentioned plans to reset the housing market. I was wondering if you could elaborate on what you mean when you say reset and what you think it will take to actually get there.
So when I say reset, I'm not looking at a particular specific, set of data or anything. What I'm really saying is that we've had a time of a red hot housing market.
Not very reassuring, is it? So I'll really be breaking down this data to help cut through all the noise. If you are currently in the market buying or selling, what are you seeing that's most concerning to you? Drop a comment below and let's discuss it. Let me jump into the weekly active snapshot from the Houston Association of Realtors. Now, just a little caveat here. Some of their data is year-over-year comparisons, and I'm not a huge fan of using year-over-year data, especially right now, because I feel like it's just not a true representation. I don't like comparing data from last year, which put up all-time record-breaking numbers in just about every category, to today's numbers, which represents a stabilization in the market. But when you're trying to analyze this stuff, it's always important to take a look from a 3,000-foot view and then moving closer for a look. As you see, new listings are down 6% from this time last year. Closings are down 16.6%. But here's the very telling indicator about buyers. Property showings experienced an increase. This graph represents an 8.5% increase. Back to all the doomsday headlines of buyers exiting the market in record numbers, this stat tells us the opposite. Buyers are still out looking at homes, and the number of buyers out there looking are increasing. HAR is also saying that the median home is down to $340,950. If you remember back in March, Houston shattered that median for the first time at $400,000. Look at another good indicator for buyers, which is inventory. It was the main driver of why we were in such a seller's frenzy for the past 2 years. For frame of reference, a balanced market has 6 months of inventory. Under 6 months and we are in a seller's market. Over 6 months and we are in a buyer's market. As you see here, single family months of inventory has risen to 2.5, up from the crazy low of 1.7 months. While the definition still dictates we are technically still in a seller's market, we have come out of that insane shark-infested waters of $40,000 over asking price on day one. Buyers are starting to have a lot more breathing room. I had several buyers over the last couple of years that were just plain emotionally and physically drained. They were drained from knowing that they were probably going to get into those shark-infested bidding wars every time they put in an offer on a home. With prices starting to come down and inventory starting to move up, that buyer fatigue has started to ease, thankfully. If you were a buyer just 6 to 8 months ago and haven't won a bid until recently, I want to hear from you. Tell me what your experience was like. Lastly, historically, at this time of year, as we enter into October, is the better time to buy. And so now that I've given you some data, let me give you a few strategies in the resale and the new build market that are really helping out buyers combat the higher interest rates. If you're a buyer and your only pain point is rising interest rates, listen up, this is for you. Over the past 2 to 3 months, days on market have increased to an average of 31 days. Why is this important for you, the buyer? Unlike last year when homes sold within the first 2 hours of hitting the market, this 31-day average days on market not only gives you some breathing room, but gives you some leverage in negotiations. So instead of asking for a price decrease, ask for seller concessions that will allow you to buy down your interest rate. Secondly, I've done a couple of videos discussing the 2-year buy down rate program that my friends over at Fairway Mortgage are offering. As rates go up, several lenders are also offering special programs to help. So make sure you ask your lender what they offer. Now let's talk about new builds. I was just with clients closing on a new build in Pearland at Meritage Homes. They, like many other builders, are bringing back some really great incentives. Make sure to check with each builder because the offers will vary. At the time of our appointment, they were offering, listen to this, $10,000 off the list price, either $20,000 to go toward closing costs or $15,000 to help buy down the interest rate and a few other small incentives. I'm also seeing these emails from builders regularly, locking buyers in at much lower interest rates. Okay, I just hit you with a lot of info rather quickly. What do you think? I think the data supports that there are still a lot of buyers on the market. I'm working with several buyers currently, and I think the trend of increased inventory will continue. So depending on your particular circumstance, it could be a very good time to buy. And hey, if you want to keep watching more great videos, we got a playlist right there. And if you never want to miss another, just subscribe.